This is a
squad.
That ball is belted. Welcome in Carlos Gomez. Hello. Goodbye.
Ay.
Prescott down the middle. Butler makes a move.
Oh man, yeah. We rockin' now for real. BS3 Sports. Okay, sports news, get it first when you're getting off of work. Even when you're at work, acting like you're working hard when you're hardly working. I'm a maverick like Dirk, getting Franklin's like Kirk. Hold up, boy. X-Squad, you don't know them boys? Being talking facts on every topic. Overall, we just talking noise, just being boys. Covering Texas sports in them tall hills. That with the fake pass over to Elliott. Better guard your grills like a car for real. Yeah, Cowboys gonna bring a bowl back, Lord willing. Yeah, Mavericks gonna bring a ring back with Mark in it. We live sports, we talk sports, we dream sports, we eat sports. The teacher about to teach the course. Welcome to BS3 Sports. Ay. Reals. Oh man, yeah.
Welcome to the BS3 Sports Show this Friday. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We got a great show planned for today. We got Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals just went down yesterday. So we recapping that. Also, we got NFL news. We got Major League Baseball news. We also got huge college basketball news from this week. Also, we'll talk about the All-NBA teams. Let me know if you feel if there was any snubs. The title of today's show, as you could see, is That Monkey Almost Off. In reference to the Raptors, that monkey is almost off their back. They may make it to the finals for the first time ever in franchise history. A lot of this is due to Kawhi Leonard, who has been playing crazy. He's been playing crazy in these playoffs. Specifically, though, in this round, he's been doing a crazy, amazing job. So shout out to him. And I believe his knee is injured. I think he is actually injured. You watch the way he favors it. They talk about it on the broadcast, but he's continuing to play through it. He continues to play through it. So we got a great show. I want to give a shout out to Miss Bella in the building. Also said Galloway in the building. Thank you guys for tuning in, getting in the building early. So let's go ahead and get right into the game. Raptors win in Milwaukee. There's a lot of factors in this game. There was a lot of factors. One in particular, Giannis was not, even when he was trying to get to the hole, they were talking about it on the broadcast all night. They basically put up a wall, not allowing him to get to certain areas of the court. They did a great job at that. Kawhi was playing D on him. Everybody was physical with him. And he just wasn't able to, he just didn't look like himself. He didn't look like he was the Greek freak. He just pretty much looked like another guy. He just looked like another guy out there. Now, I think with Giannis, I think this is definitely something that he's going to learn from. There was a comment by Kenny Smith saying Milwaukee may be sitting in that locker room right now, maybe thinking, can we bounce back from this? Are we one of these teams that can battle back and bounce back from a loss like this? Which I think they could possibly do it, but to win 2 games in a row, and they're going to have to win in Toronto. You know Toronto's going to be crazy. You know Drake's going to be on the sideline yelling at you. It's going to be a hostile atmosphere. So I don't see the Bucks winning 2 more games. Now, there is really not a lot that I can say in this series because I was picking Milwaukee. And I think that's what we do sometimes. I talked about this on Monday's show, is that we find a way to count out the other team And honestly, we can't do that. We can't count out the other team if they go down 2-0. That's why on Monday's show I said the title of it was Don't Count Out Kawhi and We the North, because they're playing some great basketball right now. Huge shout out to Nolan Powell. He had to hit some shots. Fred Van Fleet was money. So there was a lot of contributions to this game for Toronto. A huge part of it, though, was Kawhi, as he continues to show that he is a MVP caliber player, period. He can do it all. He has the ability to do it all, defense and offense. He was hitting key threes. There's not anything bad in my opinion, that you can say about Kawhi. There's not anything bad you can say about him, because he was very instrumental in them getting this win. Like I mentioned, Fred Van Fleet, I think he went 7 for 9. I'm going to pull up the stats here, but he had a huge game. That was bonus. That was just flat out bonus for them, is getting what you received out of Fred Van Fleet. That was bonus. He had 21 off the bench with 7 for 9 from the 3. Norman Powell had 8 points, 1 for 4. Serge Ibaka had 6. So the Raptors only played 3 bench players. Siakam had 14. Kyle Lowry had 17. Danny Green started, had 0. He just couldn't get it going. Marc Gasol had 4. One of those was the three-pointer that he had to hit. But they only played 3 guys off the bench. They went into Milwaukee, which trying to win an away game is not easy at all. But with this fan base and them finally getting the shot to see their team in the playoffs, I was expecting Milwaukee to win this game. I was really, really expecting them to win this game, because it just seemed like that would be the ideal scenario. But they didn't win. This is a tough loss. I think it's a tough pill to swallow. I do think, though, like I mentioned, that I think Giannis is going to learn from this. The series is not over yet, but I'm strongly pushing and believing that Toronto's getting ready to go to the finals. Shout out to Low Key Submissive in the building. Thank you for tuning in. Courtney, Real Deal, my man Kev. Clutch Talk Sports will be on today at 3 Central. And shout out to Mo Cheese with a great show. I was listening while working, so I wasn't able to chat as much, but I do have to say it was a great show. Great guest, got the females on there. And definitely was worth a listen, so go back and listen to that show after this is over. But Toronto is proving everyone, including myself, wrong. And that monkey is almost off the back. I mean, they have been to the playoffs numerous times, but they have never been to the finals. They are on the brink. They're 1 win away. You have to be excited if you're a Raptors fan. You have to be excited for basketball, because we didn't get this in the other series. The other series was a sweep. We didn't get this. At least we're getting 6 games, could possibly go to 7. And that's another part of what I'm excited about, is that we're able to get 6 games, which, like I just said, is more than what we got in the Western Conference Finals. And this could possibly go 7. I wouldn't count it past them for this to possibly go 7. But I don't know. It looks like Milwaukee's about to bow out after this. They won the first 2 games, lose the last 4. Shout out to Melvin. Thank you for tuning in. Courtney says, what you think of Giannis sitting out the couple last sequences of the quarter? And I will answer that here in just a moment. And shout out to Eddie Moe. But the thing with Giannis and here's my opinion on that. It was reported that he was in excruciating pain for his ankle, that he either, I don't know if he sprained it or he twisted his ankle. That is a very key time in the game, but I cannot say how he should feel about his ankle because I didn't feel what it was. If it was me, though, I would have did whatever I possibly could have to be out there on the court. But I'm not Giannis. I don't know how much pain he was in, but I do know that's a key point in the game. When you're not in the game in key points and you're the star player of the team, that is a problem. That is a problem. So I know that may not be a clear-cut answer, but that's the way it is, though. I don't know how much of pain he was in, but if it was me, I would have been out there with all things possible. But that was a very key time in the game. That was very key, and it was almost like they just kind of gave up after a certain point in time. That's what it really started to look like. They knew this game was over. So we're just going to pull Giannis. I thought it was more so the coach. I didn't think it was more so Giannis pulling himself out, but you just never know the situation. You'll never know what the coach is thinking or what the players are thinking. Shout out to HRAP-B. Happy for all of Toronto except Drake, says Kev. And man, Drake is a ride or die, I think, every team fan except when it comes to basketball. He is definitely Toronto. He was at the building, they call it Jurassic Park, I guess the outside part of the Raptors arena. And we're watching the game. Me and my wife, and she was like, why is Drake so involved? Why is he yelling at players on the sideline? And I was just answering her, just saying he is Raptors ride or die. He is a Raptors fan through and through, and he will do whatever it takes to bring an advantage to his team, no matter what that is. He's got the practice facility named after OVO. He's very involved. Now, when it comes to every other sport, like I said, he is a fan of everybody, really. He will pop up with a jersey that you never even know existed. And maybe it's kind of just a fashion statement for him as far as that point goes. Shout out to Knox, DJ Knox in the building. Thank you for tuning in. But Toronto did exactly what they had to do. They came back in the game. This is the Bucks' first time losing 3 straight games this year. That's crazy. That's a crazy stat. The first time they've lost 3 games in a row this year alone. That's crazy. That is crazy. But that just tells you how good of a team the Bucks were in the regular season. But the regular season does not equal the postseason. Every year we see these teams that have great regular seasons. Prime example, the 73-9 Warriors team. And when they got to the playoffs, they end up losing that series. So regular season does not always equal success in the postseason. I'm not going to say that that's a fact, but I'm going to say that that's truth because we've seen it happen numerous times. So game 6 coming up on Saturday, we'll see how the Raptors respond. We'll see how Giannis and the Bucks respond, and you see what you're going to get out there on the floor. Because that's what it's all going to come down to. How much are they going to be willing to put it all out there to try to win this series? Drake is a honorary team ambassador, actually. Yeah, he's the Raptors mascot, says HRAP-B. Pretty much. He probably goes back to the back at halftime and puts that Raptors costume on and comes back out there. But he